Hello there, and welcome to another episode of my Star Wars world. And in the last one we flattened down this big island behind me, because today we're going to start working on the mountain for Mustafar and all of the rock formations and the lava and everything like that. Another thing we'll be doing in this episode is going around all of the new update stuff. So we're going to collect up some of the white wood and the firefly bushes and stuff like that, because last episode we didn't actually get a chance to do it because I spent last episode fixing everything, because of course everything broke, my gold farm and all of my data packs and things like that. So that's all fixed now. You will see these shadows down here because this is all my shulker boxes, because this mountain area it's going to take about 55,000 blocks. There is also one other thing that I need to do, and if you take a look around here you can see underneath this island this is not connected, so I do need to terraform down there eventually. The front doesn't look too bad, so it's not something I need to do right now, and we'll get on with working on the actual builds for now. But at some point I will need to fix that up, and I did go in and just fill in all of the holes, and I kind of extended the ends of the island out. I did this one bottom layer off camera because it's very annoying using light matica in water because you can't see the block properly. The water just takes it up and then it just shows a red block. But let's jump in and start building up part of this island, and I think we'll probably be doing this in 2 time lapses because there are just so many blocks. So that is the first little part of the island done, and the only disappointing thing about this design is the fact that this side is quite low, because in reality there's kind of like a little valley here, and it would be nice to have done it a bit more properly, but at the same time this is just like a slice of the planet, so it's better that I can see it from this angle. And I'm not flying, there we go. So you can see I made this side a little bit lower. That's because this bank along here is where we're going to be doing the armor stand scenes for Obi-Wan and Anakin, and I'll probably do like a few along here to capture different parts of that, and obviously we're going to do stuff up in the mining complex as well. But you can see just how big this is, and just building up these parts actually took me 3 hours. And this thing's going to be very tall, so the last part is going to take a very, very long time. For some reason I decided to start recording just as it was turning nighttime. I do that all the time and I don't really know why, but it just seems to happen a lot. So of course, for these scenes, I am going to do my best to make them animated like this one here. And if you think this is cool and you really like it, then please do consider liking and subscribing so that you can catch those episodes when they come out. In the next few episodes, I'll be working on that once I have the actual build finished and we can start on the super smelter. But for now, let's go and do some exploring, because as I said, we're on 1.21.5 and there is items now that I can go and get. Now I'm not just going to be blindly exploring. I'll let you can see some things I built earlier for getting some mobs, because to be honest I did already just have a look at the map because I was trimming the chunks, which took a very long time, just to make sure that I had something fairly close, because I don't want the world size to be getting too crazy. And so I do actually know where there's a pale garden. Now there is other stuff which I don't know where it is, but we're going to find out. Is that one? I think I found one already. Yes. Now how do I pick this up? Is it shears? Shears works. Does this work? Ah, both works. Excellent. So we got some of the firefly bushes. Those will come in very handy very soon actually. I quite like the particle effects and I'm going to be using them in parts of the armor stance. And here we have some leaf litter. Nice. And I assume that I can farm this with bone meal, so we don't need loads of this. And there we go, some of the other little petals that drop. Now what else is there? I haven't really looked into the update too much, to be honest. I don't know if I'm missing anything. Well, it looks like I'm missing 3 things still. So we got the bush. I don't know what it's going to look like. Is this the dry grass? No, it's normal grass. Oh, I think this is a bush. Yeah. So shears work and the hoe works as well. And I assume these can be bone milled as well. Okay, so the only ones left are in the desert. Always good to drop by a pillager tower because we can get some smithing templates. So we should be coming up on the new biome any second now. Somewhere around here. Ah, there we go. Brand new biome. Now, I did test this in another world, but my timber data pack from Vanilla Tweaks does work on these trees. I don't know if it works on the creaking hearts. Oh, but we've got these as well. Take some of them. Can these be bone milled? I don't know. We also need some of this moss. Now it should be nighttime anytime soon. Get some of this hanging moss as well. It's a pretty decent size for this biome. I can grab plenty of wood. Come on, there's got to be one. I thought mobs weren't supposed to spawn in this bit. Oh, you even get the leaves of this colour. That's pretty nice. Kind of like ash. Really? Oh, here's one. Now it's in this tree, right? Okay, very nice. So it doesn't break the heart. So I can actually just go through and destroy this whole forest and I can collect all of them. Yeah, there we go. Oh! Oh, I get the creaking head as well. Oh, that's really cool. That actually looks really cool. I like that one. But it's kind of like a mini wood block. Right, you know what? This is winding me up. I'm going to go sleep and make it daytime again. Ah, there's a village, right? Oh, that's perfect. Just grab a bed from here. Right, my inventory is looking messy right now. Tell you what I do need is I need some of these saplings. And hopefully with my fortune hoe, I should be able to get quite a lot of those. What are you doing here? Ah, that does actually stop my timber mod from working if I break the leaves though. That's unfortunate. Oh, we got another one. Nice and easy to find them with this mod. And there's another one. Now I heard that in 1.21.5 you can now rename the creakings, which I think it makes them stay, or maybe they despawn and spawn back in the same spot. I'm not exactly sure, but that could be really cool for some automatic doors. So we'll see if that's possible. Right, it's getting to night time and I'm actually just curious about something that I want to try real quick. So if I take these creaking hearts and we just place them down. You know what? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. If we go down somewhere a little bit flatter, this might be easier. So we got a bunch of these guys now. Now, if I break these, did I get the heads? I didn't. Do I need to hit them first? Or does it just not work with the player placed ones? No. So I got one of the heads, and I don't know if it's because it was a player placed one or what. That's a little bit odd. I'm not going to worry about the resin right now because I can just get that later. Let me test again and see if I can get another head. Alright, where are you coming from? Come on, mate. Did I just get super lucky and get one first time? I don't know what the rate is for the drop. Oh, there's a couple here. Steady on, steady on. We've got 3 of them right next to me. Yeah, look, it's not dropping the head anymore. Oh, that's ridiculous. Maybe I just got really lucky. Yeah, what kind of drop rate is that? I might have to check in the files because that seems extremely lucky that I got it. Well, that's kind of you, isn't it? Waiting right next to your thing. Ooh. They are just not dropping it anymore. I'm baffled. I'm baffled. I need to check the rates. Right, I've had a look through the files and I can't even find the creaking in the list. So I don't know how I got that one. I'm really confused. Oh, these creepers everywhere, man. Oh no. Oh no, there's a creeper right there as well. Here's another guy. Right, okay. Oh, I got another one. So it can't be that high. It must be like 10% or something. Too slow, buddy. Here's another one. Oh, there's 2 here. Where'd the other one go? No, I know it was here somewhere. Ah, there he is. Oh, we got a zombie village ahead. Well, I made the decision to completely destroy this whole forest, and I only made it this far, and I already have 6 shulker boxes of the white wood. And as you can see from my inventory, I also have 25 creaking hearts, which should be more than enough for now. That leaves 1 item left, technically 2 items, because one of those is the cactus flowers, but I don't need to grab those. So the only other item I actually need is the dry grass. Is it dry grass? The yellow grasses, basically. So I need to find a desert. That's not a desert, is it? Nope. Right, well, that would have been really nice when I was using netherite ingots, but now that's pointless. So I won't worry about that. Oh, that's a dry grass. And there we go. That is all the items for the new updates collected. And we'll chuck these in there for now. Oh, speaking of cactus flowers, there's one here in the smallest bit of desert ever. Alright, since we're at a desert, I might as well grab a few of these. Alright, that'll be enough. Let's head back. Hold on a minute. Why is there a minecart chest on a desert just sitting out in the open? I mean, we'll take a name tag. I've just realised I've flown completely the wrong way. Oh my goodness.
He went completely the other way.
Nearly there. The island should be coming into view any point now. There we go. Now, when I originally made this little indoor storage system, I didn't make any space for the white wood. And I think we're just going to have all the nether woods in one, and we'll put the white wood in that one there, because I am going to be upgrading this at some point, so this won't be staying forever. And there we go, all the white wood is stored away. Now, I did pick up this one bundle from one of the villages I went to. I want to try it out because I was thinking that maybe if you can store... You can only store one of a stackable, a non-stackable. Oh... So minecarts are still a problem. Oh well, probably won't be using that anytime soon then. For some reason, this bed in Luke's hut is my go-to for sleeping. I don't really know why. I just don't go back here other than to grab items. And maybe just I've been used to sleeping here because of building in this area. So now I think later in the episode, I might take a look at doing a little resin farm with those creaking hearts. And for now, I think we need to continue on building up this mountain here. And it's going to be very tall. And I think we'll just do it all in one time lapse now to get that finished so you can see how that's looking. And also I didn't mention that this little magma cubes down here kind of makes it obvious, but this is all going to be a lava river. So let's get back to the build. In typical fashion, I have severely underestimated how long this project is going to take.
I hate it when he does that.
So I think now we need to step it up and let's just activate our sublight engines.
Join me, and together we can rule the algorithm as creator and sub.
And as the sun sets over the horizon on Luke's hut once again, we have finally finished this island, and oh my goodness, I think it looks amazing. I think it looks really good at night as well because the lava glows, especially with the shaders on. However, this took me so long. It took so long to do all of this. It took 14 hours just to build it, plus 8 hours to mine the island, so that's 22 hours, and all we've really done is landscaped it over the course of 2 episodes, I'll add as well. This has been a crazy project. You can see I put these little lines down in the lava. That's because where the lava was, it wasn't sitting right with me. It just looked too flat, and I wanted something to make it look like it's flowing. I don't think it's the best. I think the shroom lights also looked pretty cool, but they were too light, so I preferred the dark of it, which kind of matches with the pattern on the lava where it has some rocks that are not fully melted. And what was that flash? That was really weird. See if I can do that again. I don't know what that flash was, to be honest. Now, for this, we are going to have to start working on the mining complex, which is going to be very, very large, and I think we'll leave that for the next episode. I did mention earlier in this episode that I will probably take a look at doing a resin farm, and I think I actually have quite a cool idea for that. I think I know what I want to do, and that is also thanks to one of the subscribers mentioning quite a while back now. This was probably when I was still working on Endor or just starting on Tatooine, and that is that he wanted me to do the cave of Darth Momin, and that was Don Pebble who suggested that. And I'm just trying to work out what would be a good place to put this cave so it's not sort of too obvious. just somewhere there's a Sith cave, and I think it would be really cool to do that because actually Darth Momin had his mask, and after he died he actually got sort of trapped in his mask, his spirit did, and then he came back from that. And I like the idea of that kind of linking up with the Creaking because they're trapped in the Creaking heart, and I think that's a cool little analogy. So yeah, let me work out a spot, because I've got to obviously make sure it's not going to get blocked off by any of the facility. So I can either put it in here, but the other problem is we also need a big gap. We need like a 32 by 32 by 16 space, which as you can see, even though it's a bit dark in here, we definitely will have that space. And I think, oh my goodness, I can't see anything. Let me get a night vision potion and we'll come back. Right, let's take another look inside of this mountain here. There you go. So you can see we have absolutely loads of space. Wait. How have I managed that? I missed blocks. Jeez. That's foolish. I'll fix that in a second. But as you can see, we have tons and tons of space in here. Now, I could... what side am I on? I could fit it down this end. I believe there is enough space here. And I think I'll do it quite low. You can also see we've got mobs spawning in here. This is another problem because I went past these black lines, which are the boundaries of the island. So that's kind of unfortunate. However, it's all on the back of it and inside here. So I don't think it's going to be a massive issue. I think we should be fine. But yeah, I'll look at what space I can put this in. And then, what should we put the cave down here? Maybe like, ooh, I quite like this spot here actually. I don't want it to be too hidden, but I don't want it to be too visible. So we'll see. And of course, I'm going to be fitting in my super smelter in here somewhere. And it's a bit messy at the top, so there's not really a lot of space to work with for a farm. Yeah, there's not a lot I can put up here. But in this middle section, kind of from this bit downwards, we have all this space to work with. So I should be able to make some kind of crazy super smelter. And that comes out around the middle, which is actually ideal because that means I'll be able to put the items straight into it from one of the little station parts here, and maybe they come out on this one here or something. We'll see how that works out. I had a look at some more pictures of the Sith cave and I found some ones from the exterior, and actually down here is going to be a lot better. This little lump here is perfect for it, and then we have the entrance in here, and you'll see we have this beacon. Don't worry too much about that. It's not going to block the view because I'm going to have a lever to switch that on and off, because there's no way I'm blocking the facility. That's the main part of this island. But yeah, so inside this cave we're going to have the entrance here, come in, and then we'll have a little bit of a design inside, and then we're going to need to dig out another massive hole once again. So I think it's time to start digging, and that's why I have the haste on this beacon already. Well, I finished digging the hole, but unfortunately I did end up breaking one of my netherite pickaxes, which, if you check in my statistics, it is the first one. It's the first one I lost, unfortunately, but there we go. At least I can easily make a new one, and I know one of these has silk touch. What have we got here? I got more iron there, I didn't even realise I had. This guy's got silk touch. And there we go, we have all of the enchantments and the netherite. We have a new one there. Let's put that in my box, and then we'll get back to actually building. And now you can see we have this giant hole, and we also have this tube here where I'm going to be dropping down. There will be water at the bottom, and then this is basically where I'm going to be sitting with my chests and doing the AFK in here. So I think let's just get started with the build. Now some of this is going to be a bit weird to place in because it's all a bit tight. I can just dig out a bigger hole, but I need to be careful about the spawning spaces. Now something interesting that I found with these daylight detectors is they actually work from underneath the lava. So that's not what I was meant to do. Where have I put it? Oh no. I've made a huge error here. How did I manage that? What a muppet. So this daylight detector should be here, and that should block the lava whilst also giving me a redstone output during the day. There we go. And it is also just turning night, so I'll show you that that should switch off as well in the night, but we need some night vision potions first because I ran out again. But now you can see the repeater has stopped working, so we're just going to send this line all the way down. Now the Creakings will spawn on some of this line, so I do need to go up and just put some slabs over the top of all of these. So one thing I have realised is once again it's going to be quite dark in here, so I might just do a line of what they call end rods coming down here. Now there is actually a reason as to why I'm doing this in all white, because for one I just got the white wood so I wanted to build with it, and for two because where I'm doing it, it's actually at the back of the Sith cave, and in the Sith cave is where the portal is that Vader goes through. I don't know if you want to know too much about it, so I won't go into too much detail. This is supposed to look like a kind of otherworldly area, just to make it look a little bit different and not really have a lot to it. So that is one side of it done. We're going to have these chests here for the resin, and this is going to be for my XP bottles, and I will stand here hitting this, and we're going to have the same on this side. So this is the little area all done now, and I'm going to have to fly to get out of that. And now we can start working on the actual area for the mobs to spawn in. This is one of those nice simple farms for the crafting setup, because you just need to have it constantly ticking because there's nothing else that can get crafted. So I'm just going to have these in here like this. Now the one thing that I did when I built this design up is that I massively overdid the area, so I'm going to try and shrink it down a little bit when I actually make it now. So originally I had added this bit here as well, but I don't really need it, and this is about where the farm comes up to, so this should be fine. So now I have this slightly weird setup with these pistons. Now I probably didn't need to do this, but it was basically to improve the efficiency a little bit. Instead of having to wait for them to respawn and go back down the water streams, I can actually come up here and just name tag all of them, and that way they will stay forever. But if I ever have any issues with them despawning, I can essentially just come and switch this on, allow them to spawn and rename tag them, so this just saves me a bit of time later on. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't be recommending people to build it this way, but if you do like the design, I can always chuck it in a Litematica file in the Discord if you wanted to build it. There are a lot of simpler designs out there though. So now I'm also connecting these pistons up to this daylight detector, because that way I can run out of night vision again. No, that way it'll only activate at night, meaning that it won't be making sounds or wasting any lag. Now just covering up the tops of all of this with slabs so that we don't get any unwanted spawns. And for the first time I am using these note blocks in redstone. I don't think I used it in anything else anyway, at least from my designs. So I have this total set to, how many ticks is it? I think it's 50 ticks. I've got 26, and then I have 24 of them on 4 ticks, and 2 of them, so it's 100 ticks, sorry. It's 100 ticks, which works out to be 5 seconds. Now that will extend the pistons twice every 5 seconds, but that's completely fine. I'm not doubling this up just for the sake of timing it with my sword perfectly. At least I know every 5 seconds it's going to push these. Obviously, to get this clock started, you need one of these in subtract mode. So right now I'm just missing one repeater that goes to the farm, but everything else, oh, these need to be covered up as well. My goodness, them spawning on stuff is so annoying. Now the one last thing I need to do is put this repeater in here so that when it's nighttime it will start activating. And I also need to place in the final bits of wood. But other than that, everything is done. Actually, I do want to cover those up down there, so let's go and do that. Now I have just realised one thing, that when I'm not in this area, these are going to be going off and wasting XP balls. There must be... maybe I just put levers on the front of it, but that just seems a bit cheap. I don't know. So now we can place in the creaking hearts and the remainder of the wood. There we go. And there's one other thing, I need the water down here as well. Forgot about that. Now that should flow all the way down. There's no gaps, there's all the space in the world. They get down there, excellent. So that is actually ready to use without my little sword healing station. But it's not nighttime, so I need to wait for nighttime, and we can name tag some of these creakings. So it is now nighttime, and a few issues later we have some of these guys spawned in here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think they're all named. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell, they're all too grouped together. Yeah, it looks like they are all named, so let's just send them down the farm and we'll see how it goes. I did actually miss some blocks here, and one of them spawned in there, which was pretty annoying, so it's been more than one day. And off they go. And the last one in. Yep, there we go. Right. So we're all set up. And now I just need to set up my auto clicker. So now that should go every 5 seconds. I'll leave this for about an hour and we'll just see how many of the blocks we actually get. So I ended up leaving it for about 2 hours, and you can see I've got pretty much a shulker box in each of these sides, so that's quite a lot and it's quite fast, but also it didn't really use that much durability, and I only had 36 of the splash bottles in these. The problems I was having is that actually when this goes down, you're still kind of hitting it. I don't know how you can avoid that unless I use a honey block to completely slide it out of the way. Yeah, other than that, it's all pretty good. There's a few bits of resin that do come flying down here, but it's not anywhere near close to all of it. It's tiny amounts, so I'm not really that bothered. And I did also install this pressure plate here, so these will only activate when I'm standing on here. When I'm off of it, they will just stay locked out. So now we need to actually make the Sith cave and connect that up to the entrance of the cave here, and then this will be finished. So the cave is basically finished now. We've got a last little bit to do, but I thought I'd show you something weird happened. So I've got the lava out here, and on these signs in here, you can see I've got some writing, and I forget how to do this. We want to make these glow. Now, I didn't input this in survival mode. If you've got Lightmatica, you can see this one's not placed down yet. If I place the sign on there, it auto fills all of the text out, which I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but at the same time, it is just copy and paste. Like, I'm just copying from a notepad and pasting it in here, and it's just a time consuming thing. So I'm kind of happy about it, but at the same time, it feels a bit weird, like I haven't done it in survival, but I did do the copy and paste thing for the creative copy of this. So I guess it's fine. I don't know, how do you guys feel about that? Just seems a little bit weird, but we'll take it. Saves me some time. And then we just want to, oh, I missed one up here. We just want to light all these signs up and make them red. Now the reason for this is there's these pillars inside, and they're at a bit of a weird angle, so it's hard to kind of show that in Minecraft. But I just put this writing on there because there's some symbols on it, and I think it does the job. It's not perfect because it's supposed to cover the whole thing, and there's some certain types of lines, but I think, yeah, you can tell it looks like it's glowing. It's given across the ancient text kind of vibe. And that is the room all finished up now. So you come inside, we've got the lava on the side here, and then we have these sort of markings on the wall. Again, it's another one where they're very thin lines and I couldn't get them exactly right, but I think it looks cool. These are supposed to be on the whole of the cave. I could probably do it in this part, but on here I couldn't actually do it because of the lava. They were burning, so I started off just doing it on this side. Maybe I'll go through and add it in these sides as well. Then we have the little rock in the middle, obviously where Vader does his lightsaber, and we can just switch off the beacon here like that and just switch it back on. And there's a glass and a slab up there to hide it inside this. And then obviously you come through here, and this is the kind of doorway that leads to the other realm that Vader goes to. And I just put these banners up here to give like a colour, whilst also trying to hide the white behind a little bit and just have it easy to walk through. And then obviously you come down, and you saw this earlier, we have the farm all down here. There is one last thing that we need to do in this cave, and that is going to be an armor stand scene. And it's not going to be anything major. Obviously we're going to be doing Vader. And I also got one of the glow squid heads, by the way, so that's pretty cool. Got another head. But yeah, we're going to have to do a Vader, and as mentioned earlier in the episode, this is to do with a scene with Darth Momin, who is in the comics but not in any of the live action stuff or the animated stuff. Unfortunately though, in order to make this armor stand scene, I need to blow myself up again, and I've had these 700 levels for quite a few episodes now. So we've got on Don Pebble's skin once again, so let's just blow this up. And look at that score, jeez. And I get 7 levels back. Just 7. Useless. Well, you can see through my player, there is a name tag there. That's because I did the scene for Don Pebble that you requested so many episodes ago. And let's go take a look at how that is. So we got the Darth Momin head hanging up there with Darth Vader holding him up with the Force above the little altar thing. So for this Darth Vader, I went a little bit different to the previous one, but I didn't really want to show you guys me building it because I already did that in episode 21. So if you want to see all the parts and everything going together, you can actually check that out there. But they got the lightsaber here, unlit version. The only main difference is I didn't do all the little candles for the fingers. If I'm completely honest, I couldn't be bothered. I really couldn't be bothered. It's so many armor stands, and just for the sake of some fingers, I think it looks great without them anyway. And we're going to have to do more Darth Vaders in the future. So yeah, I just left those out. But everything else is pretty much the same. And this time I did it straight on, so all of the little bits aren't glitching through each other and kicking each other out. So that worked out really nice. I really hope you like this scene, Don Pebble. And just for everyone else, I've mentioned it before, but if you have ideas or you have favourite parts of Star Wars that you want to be included, feel free to let me know. Of course, all of the main scenes are going to be done, you know, Obi-Wan and Anakin fight, that kind of stuff, where it's in the main films. I will be doing those things. But as you can see, there's been a couple of suggestions in this series which have been shown in previous episodes. So we have another one over here from Don Pebble. He said to do the T14 hyperdrive, which I didn't think I would be able to do, but I think it looks alright with the banners and getting that little face in there. And we did a little Watto, trying to sell him it here, giving the price, and Republic credits are not accepted. We also have one from Lepton down here, where this was when the Wandering Traders were bothering me every time, and we were just building this Tusken Raider camp, and we had these skulls on the posts, and he said, why don't you put one of the Wandering Traders on the post? And the final one over here, which is not actually Star Wars related, but it's like Star Wars adjacent, and this is from Spaceballs, which we did last episode, so you know about that one, and we're just waiting to hear back from them about adding Don Pebble's name on here. But yeah, I would love to include more people and put more of your suggestions. If you have stuff from Legends or from things from the comics, I'm happy to do a bit of research and make those as well, like this Darth Momin one here. So yeah, feel free to share your suggestions. But I hope you really enjoyed this episode. That is all for today, and I look forward to the next one when we're going to start finally building up the mining facility. Thank you very much for watching. I have spoken.